now we've done everything cosine. Now we're going to do everything sine. Okay? So, what's the difference? There is no difference. Look at this. Sine 2x, sine x over 4. Let's look. Cosine 2x, cosine x over 4. I literally cut and pasted. All I did was change it from sine or cosine to sine. So what does that mean? The a and the k should be exactly the same. The c, the h, they should all be exactly the same. So for right now, all of this should be reviewed. Find the a, the a, the a. What is the a in all three of these cases? How tall is it? There's a 1. A 1 and a 1. I'm not doing colors because I want you to see it's exactly the same, but I guess I can't help myself. Fine. Let's do the purple. Okay? And then the period. The period represents your k. That's the number in front of here. Well, if there's nothing there, it's either 360 or 2 pi. Since it's x, it's in radian mode, 2 pi. But this time I actually have something in front. So if I have something in front, I have to go 2 pi over 2, which is pi. Okay? So what's the difference between this and this? That means hump to hump, if I was going like this, is 2 pi. Or here, hump to hump is pi. So how do they relate to each other? It is half the distance, because when it's with the x, that's horizontal. Horizontal, not a straight shooter. So if I say 2, I really mean 1/2. And some of you go, well, I thought if it was 2, it meant negative 2. No, that's if you have plus 2. The opposite is negative 2. What is the opposite of multiplying by 2, or the inverse? Dividing by 2, or multiplying by 1/2. They don't like division. Okay? So what I want you to do is figure out the period here. 2 pi over, well, x over 4 is 1/4 x over 1/4. 2 divided by 1/4 is the same as 2 times 4, which is 8 pi. So that means now hump to hump, it's like that. I didn't do a very good job, but that means the distance from hump to hump is 8 pi. It's a lot wider. If it's 1/4, not a straight shooter, it's 4 times the normal amount. 4 times as wide. So if I'm 5 feet wide this way, I'm now going to be 20 feet wide because I'm 4 times the amount. Or if I was half the amount, that was 5 feet, I am now 2.5 feet wide. Okay? All right. Amplitude, amplitude, amplitude. What's the amplitude here? Good. Here and here. Who's the tallest? The 3. Now, does the 2 mean that from the top to the bottom is 2? No. From the top, let me zoom it in a little bit. The top to the middle is 2. So from here to here is 2. That means from the middle to the bottom is 2. So the total distance from here to here is 4. What would be the total distance from top to bottom for this one? And then this one would be 6. Period. K, K, K. Is there anything there? Nope. Anything there? Nope. Anything there? Yep. 2 pi over 2, which is pi. Who is wider horizontally from hump to hump, from top to top, middle to middle, bottom to bottom? 5 or 6? 5, because the distance is bigger. Okay? Same thing here. A. Equals. What's my A? 1. What's my A? 6. This is a reflection over the x-axis. What is this here? 5 with a reflection over the x-axis. The period. K, K, K. What's in front? Nothing. 2 pi. What's in front? Nothing. 2 pi. What's in front? 2. 2 pi over 2, which is pi. If you go, holy moly, Miss Rifkin, you're going way too fast. If you feel like I'm going too quickly, I need you to go back to the cosine. Because it's the same exact thing. Let me tell you. If you go back here, it is the same exact thing. If you struggled here, you're of course going to struggle there. If you didn't struggle here, then this sign is just a good refresher. Okay? I'm going to do my H next, which is my vertical shift, which means that makes me go up or down. Okay? That's this number here. 2, up 2. Here, up 5. Here, up 1. The last one is the C, is the horizontal shift. Now remember, it's not a straight shooter. So if I see minus pi, what is it really? Pi. If I see minus pi over 2, what is it really? Pi over 2. Now what makes this one a little bit different here is because you have a period that's not 2 pi, you have to do this divided by this. Negative pi over 4 divided by 2. Dividing by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/2, which is negative pi over 8. And some of you go, what? I don't understand why we're doing that. If I gave you, just as a reminder, minus 6, you would, if you want to figure out the x value, you set it equal to 0, x equals 2. But what if I had 3 parentheses 1/2 x minus 2 minus 6? Let's say it's squared. You would set this equal to 0, so 1/2 x minus 2 equals 0. So not only are you doing the opposite of this, but then you're dividing by this, which is the same as multiplying by that, which is 4. So this period, the stretch or compression horizontally, affects where your horizontal translation is going to be. Okay? For graphing, I'm going to do that on the next video. Or actually, it's only 6 minutes in. I can do it in this video. All right. Sine. So we do our A, we do our K. 1 and 2 pi. A equals 1. K equals 360. So 1, negative 1. 1, negative 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that represents a cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, if the cycle is 360, that means from the top to the top, it's going to be 360. Halfway, 180. Halfway, 90, 270. Negative 90, negative 180, negative 270, negative 360. But the same thing here. This is 2 pi. What's half a 2 pi? Pi. What's half a pi? Pi over 2, and this is 1, 2. Pi over 2. Negative pi over 2, negative pi, negative 3 pi over 2, negative 2 pi. Okay, so here's how it's different. Remember on the first page, let's get back to that big old notes page that we did. What is the difference between sine and cosine? The only difference is that the cosine of 0 is 1. Where here, the cosine of 0, the sine of 0 is 0. So here we went hump to hump. But this time we're now going to go middle to middle. Okay? So this was top, middle, bottom, middle, top. This is going to be middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. Okay? So what does that mean? That means I'm going to come over here. And the first thing I'm going to do is not start at the top. That would be cosine. I'm going to start in the middle. Now I know that it goes like a wave like this. So if it's a wave and that's the middle, this is going to be the next one, top. Next one, middle. Next one, bottom. Next one, middle. Let's see how that worked out. And now look, I have graphed an entire cycle. If I want to graph another cycle, middle, bottom, middle, top. Only difference is it kind of looks like it's shifted, right? Okay. Where do I start? Good, in the middle. Middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, top. Bottom, middle, top, middle. Okay. So if you're struggling on this, you are probably struggling on cosine also. Okay. So let me pause it real quick, set everything up. So I set up all the necessary information, right? That's 2 pi, that's 360, 180, pi. Let's go negative 180, negative 360, negative pi, negative 2 pi. Okay. So normally I would start in the middle. Everything's the same. A is 1, K is 2 pi. We're happy, happy, happy. It's sine, so I start in the middle. The problem is there is this horizontal shift. There is this horizontal shift. So that means that I need to actually not make my middle here. My middle needs to be at pi. So I'm shifting to the right. It's not a straight shooter. Now I'm middle, top, middle. Now this is middle, bottom, because we have to go each one. Now, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. And then graph 2 cycles. Okay? Let's try the same thing. Okay? This, normally sine would start in the center, but where does it start? Negative 180. So now my middle is actually here. Or if I'm in middle, what would be next? Top. What would be next? Middle. Next, top. Next, middle. Next, top. Next, middle. I guarantee that the only reason you're not getting this part is if you've just been copying down my graphs as opposed to trying it yourself. Okay? Let's do this next one. What's my A? Good. What's my K? 2 pi over 1/2, which is 4 pi. Done. Okay? So let me graph this one. So this time instead of 1, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 pi. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 2 pi. So this means hump to hump or middle to middle is 2 pi, but it's not 2 pi, is it? It's 4 pi. So that means that I need to now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 pi. So if this is my middle, my next middle doesn't happen until here. So what did I do? I doubled the distance because 1/2, not a straight shooter. So instead of this is middle and this is supposed to be top, I got to go double the distance. If this normally would be middle, I need to double it. That would be middle, so it's twice. Normally this would be bottom, but I've got to double it, middle. Okay? And then I got to double it. Did I do something wrong? Nope, we're good. There's my middle. Okay? So then if this is the top, down, double it. Double it. And I've graphed 1.5 cycles. Okay? Let me put down the information for the last one. So I filled in a bunch of information, okay? I knew that since my period was 4 pi, the distance from hump to hump or middle to middle is going to be a lot wider. So middle to middle is 4 pi, okay? And then remember, with my C, it's got to be C divided by my K, which I should have done in pink. It's multiplying by 1/2, and it's dividing by 1/2, which is multiplying by 2. Okay, doing the inverse. Okay. So normally my middle would be here, my top would be here, and my bottom would be here. But there was a vertical shift. So that means instead of this being top, middle, bottom, that means this has to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my new bottom. Erase. If this was my middle, I need to make that go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is my new middle. And if this was my top, then I have to go up 4, 5, 6, 7. I know it's ugly. But if you look now, this is my bottom, this is my middle, this is my top. So that means I'm supposed to start here because this is my middle. However, my shift told me that my middle isn't there. My middle's actually at 2 pi. That was a lot. I know. Okay? So then that would be middle, twice the amount, top, because my time's about to run out, and then middle, and then bottom would be here at pi, and we still got 30 seconds, and then we go top, or I'm sorry, we're at bottom, now what's it? Middle, top, double the distance, and you get the idea, okay? And I think that's it. We'll do the next video, we'll do this one.